One of the next things I know when we spoke earlier, both of you guys mentioned building flexibility in because I mean the space is moving very quickly, changing very quickly. Have you guys seen any teams where they have actually changed after launch, had that flexibility built in, or what should people consider just to be able to change their minds if they need to later on?
Yeah, I think having allocations that are earmarked for that is very important. Having a treasury or a sub allocation into the foundation that is in a way designed that it is would be responsive to tackle changes in the environment, where the decision making behind what are we going to do with these tokens is really in the hands of the right people, the ones who are able to see the needs and kind of execute on it. You don't want to run out of tokens, but it's an important one for me because you never know how long it takes for the project to really find its feet and it can survive without incentives. Incentives really are a bootstrapping tool for both the supply side and the demand side. And you want to avoid tokens are really good for avoiding that chicken before the egg kind of problem. So you're able to get to a point where you have momentum with tokens, and you want to be sure that you have the firepower for when your project maybe changes, so that you're able to put on that incentive engine again quickly in the right places. But it's difficult because you don't want those tokens to feel like a something that hangs over people's heads in terms of selling pressure. Clearly communicate these things, let them understand that it's not that someone could just like on day 72 pull out those tokens and sell them or just push them and send them off to someone. There's a process behind it. So governance is important, and making governance understandable to people is also important. And governance necessarily has to do with the project itself, always sometimes has to do with decisions around who gets to spend these tokens for what.
Definitely echo what Hugo says. I mean, I think we also see certain projects, and wouldn't advise this, all the time, but there are certain projects that end up doing a reset and a relaunch, right? They'll end up teams will end up acquiring the rest of the token and kind of relaunching, in effect, the token. And that's sometimes a good way to sort of revive an older token and kind of revive it for this current meta. Other teams end up having a lot of constructs where maybe there's a new idea that they have, and this is kind of going back a little bit to the two token kind of model, but maybe there's a new idea that they have that is adjacent to what they're thinking about, but not directly related, and it's a great candidate to be able to create this sort of more factory model where a new sort of protocol is spun out from that. So you incentivize existing participants of the ecosystem to be able to participate in that next iteration, whatever that might be, right? So that's a great sort of way to have this much more of a flywheel type of effect. You're accruing value to original token, but then creating this opportunity for sort of growth in a new idea or new construct or multiple ideas and multiple constructs.
That makes sense. It's always a bit of an ecosystem. It's always a bit of a movement, something that could change. And there's a lot of opportunities that pop up out of nowhere.